Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As you can see, I am in the JPVideos studio. Since I don't have my own layout, he was gracious enough to let me come up here and use his layout to showcase my train collection, my HO train collection. So as you can see, I got one running behind me right now, and that's actually the state cars, and which I'm short two. I got to find two of them yet. So we'll go through those. I'm going to try to go through each individual one so you can see which ones I have. But that's also being pulled by the, gotta cheat. It's a Dno Royal Blue Road number 106 locomotive. It's a 462 Pacific and it's made by IHC. And that was actually graciously donated to me by Nick from Nixcrossing, as well as the green GG1, which is way over there, so you'll see it. So those two recently, he's given those to me, which I definitely appreciate and thank him for that, because that's my first steamer that I actually have that runs. I do have two other steamers, but I left them at home, so I'll have to grab that, maybe throw them in later. But yeah, this is the only one that actually runs, and it runs pretty good. So we'll move along from here, and I'll show you what we got, and try to remember where they all came from, because I have some from my childhood. I have some from my childhood that are in here, including my first set that I ever got, and recent newer acquires that I've gotten some from Bernie's Model Railroads hobby shop. I've gotten from the hobby shop down in Strasbourg, Trains and Lanes. I got some stuff from there, and the Retromantic. I got some stuff from the Retromantic as well. So I'm going to share that stuff with you and show you what I started off with and what it's become. I'm sure you guys have already seen the video where I converted the case, the rifle case from Harbor Freight into a train case, which now I've got more, so I've outgrown it already. So I got to come up with another plan for the rest of it, and well, you'll see. So without further ado, let's check out some trains. Oh, and as you can see, I'm wearing my Conrail hat and my Penn Central shirt from Horseshoe Curve, which I do have a bunch of Penn Central stuff, so that coincides, the shirt coincides with what I got Penn Central wise. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to start off with this one here. This Union Pacific 1400 F unit is actually the first train set I ever got. I got this in 1989 for Christmas. It came with this Dno chassis system box car. This is not the original one from the set. I misplaced it. I don't know where it is. I may still find it, but this is what should have been with the set. And I actually found this at Bernie's hobby shop, so I bought it to replace it until I could find the original at least. And then the Caboose, which when I started doing model building, I kind of got into painting stuff. So I painted a little bit of the trim there, which I probably shouldn't have, but too late now. It's already done. So there's a look at that one. And give me a minute here and I'll let it run. This thing flies. Like, this will go so fast that it will, full speed, will flip off the track on a curve. So I'm going to try not to do that in this video, but if it happens, it happens. So here I'll throw in some footage of it running. Alright, so here's another one of my childhood locomotives. This one's a Conrail. I'm not sure what model it is by the windshield and looking at it. I don't know if you guys can identify it, but it almost looks to me like an Alco, but I'm not sure. It has, the detail of it is 80s detail, so it doesn't really give you too much to figure out. Could be an SD, I'm not sure. But as you can see, it's pretty well beat. It's missing some railings. The horns are missing. It's got a little scratch right there. This railing's broken. So this was obviously one of my favorite ones, or my favorite one, I should say, that got the most use. And then hooked to the back, or hooked to it, I got a Conrail Box Car, a Milwaukee Rhode box car. These were all bought individually. These weren't a set. Reefer, Purina car, chassis system car, and then back there the Conrail Caboose, which you may have seen this caboose in some of the other videos here of the layout, because I'm actually kind of sharing it with Jay right now. We have it sitting over here on display with his Pennsylvania caboose. So it sits right here, kind of like came up with the idea of out near Topton, there's the one train museum out there, and they have pretty much that same setup. I can throw the picture in here, which will also be in the one video that Jay and I did together where he came out and did train spotting with me. There's a Conrail Caboose and a Pennsy Caboose sitting there, so that's how I got the idea of displaying them like that. So for now, it kind of lives here just on display, but trying to see if I can find another one so I can keep my original and give him one too, so he has one. He does have the one that a viewer sent him, but it's a newer one, more detailed than this one, where this is, I believe, a Lifelike. Made by Lifelike. I'm not 100% sure without taking it off and looking at it, but yeah, so these are pretty much what I started with and what I had growing up as a kid. So I'll give you some running footage of this one, and then we'll go to the next one. So now we're going to get into the new acquires. As we're looking here at my Conrail again, this one, like I said, and just previously, this was one of mine from a child, but I wanted to show off these cars, which I had just recently gotten from the Retromantic. You got this Star-Kissed. It's a Tyco Car Boxcar, which is like the longest one I've ever seen. I've never, well, no, I'm sorry, second longest one. I saw one longer at Bernie's shop, so, but this is now the longest one I have. I think it is considered a 52 footer on the box. I'm not sure, but it did come with the box. And then this one here, this what do you call these things? Hopper car. Duh. Yeah, see, I'm still learning, like with everything else. I'm not 100% on top of all the proper terms and everything like that, so bear with me, correct me in the comments. Trolls, do your thing, you know, whatever. I don't care. I'll just boot you if you're too mean. This one she wanted to give me because of the fact that, as you can see in the bottom right corner, it's my birth year, even though it's ahead of me because I'm December 78. Still pretty cool, and it was thoughtful of her to give me this one for that reason. So I definitely appreciate that. And then this one I've been wanting for a little bit. I've seen them in the hobby shops and been thinking about buying them. So we got a crane, and then the flat car with the maintenance caboose on it. So they're both Santa Fe. And this was a Tyco set that she had. Now, she did do a video of me going through the box, because I did get a bunch of track with it too, and there was another car and a locomotive, which I can show you quick, that I but I mean, she wanted me to split the stuff with Jay, so Jay picked what he wanted. Here's one of the cars that he picked. That was part of that set. And then also the locomotive, which doesn't run. We got to check it and see what's going on with it. It tries to, but it probably just needs to be cleaned. So that's one of the things I'm gonna try to do for him, is take it apart, clean it, lube it up, and see if we can get it going. If not, he's just gonna use it as a display. And also, she had sent up to give him this building right here. So that has a home on the layout. We just got to get a light for it and drill a hole and put a light in it. And there was some trees that she had sent up too. Here's one of them. And these little guys here and these little guys here. So we'll get you some running footage of this one, and then we'll move on to the next one. Of course, big thank you to the Retromantic for passing these on to me, because I definitely will enjoy them, and they are definitely getting some good run time so far. So, and like I said, it's cool that right now they're being pulled by my childhood Conrail locomotive. So. Alright, so this next setup here that I put on the track, this Conrail Gp9, I actually bought from Bernie's Model Railroad when after Railfest. Sparky 107 and I went to his house to check out his layout, and he actually had two of these that he had for sale. So I ended up buying both of them, and I gave the other one to Sparky. So Sparky, if you still have it, I don't know if you've run it or not, but this one runs pretty good, other than it's noisy because of the way the motor sounds, but it has a weird sound to it, but it does run pretty good. And then the consist of cars that are hooked to it all came from Bernie's hobby shop. Recently, while I was there, I picked this one up. It's George Washington box car. It's Benjamin Franklin box car. It's a little hard for me I had to do this manually because of course the controller's on the other side of the layout, but the Spirit of 76 Minutemen car. And then I have all but two of these original colonies, or original first state cars. These all, again, with the exception of two, came from Bernie's hobby shop. So we got New Jersey, Rhode Island. I'm gonna stand by here for a second. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is, since I have it so long, I'm just gonna let it slow roll past and explain them as they go. So we'll let it make its way around again, and we'll catch up with it as it comes around. So again, here you got the Gp9, which you'll hear the noise it makes. It's a little quiet right now because I got it going slow. So there's the George Washington car, Benjamin Franklin car, Spirit of 76 car, New Jersey, Rhode Island, New York, Maryland I had, Pennsylvania I had, that's North Carolina, Virginia, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and 2 different cabooses. Now the first caboose is part of the set. The second caboose, I'm not sure what that set was from, but that may be part of the set with these first 2 box cars. I got to do some research on that, and I'll throw in what I find here on the screen, because I did already find a picture showing the state cars. That's how I know that I'm missing 2. I'm missing Georgia and South Carolina. So those 2 I got to keep an eye out for, see if I can find to add to the collection. I also do have an F-unit locomotive to go with it, and a dummy F-unit locomotive, but unfortunately it does not run. We've tried it. We tried to fix it. Here they are in the case. The bottom one's the dummy. This is the one that's supposed to run. So what I did put this body on this F-unit and ran it with this in front to make it look like they were, like this was pulling, but it was actually this one was pushing this one with this frame, if that makes sense. So I'll throw that footage in here now so you can see what that looks like. Alright, so here's a look at those cars that were just on the track running in their original boxes. As you can see, I got some pretty decent prices on them. $5 a piece, $8 for those a piece. And again, these were all from Bernie's Model Railroad shop, which I do plan on going back and doing a live stream with him, so that'll probably be up before this video, but you have to watch for that. If you didn't already see it, you know, go check my live stream link. If for some reason I didn't do a live stream, then I'll probably do a recorded video to give you a tour of his store. But yeah, so like I was saying, I have pretty much all of the states except 2. The Pennsylvania I already had, and the Maryland I already had. So I don't have the boxes for those. But one of the things that I like about these boxes is, you know, these are from the 70s. I believe these were released, from what I was reading, mid-70s. But look at the artwork on these boxes. I mean, just incredible. It shows you the different accessories and what you could get. It's like an advertisement in itself. And actually, here I wanted to show you this too. This I had gotten with my original set with the Union Pacific. It was a styrofoam, basically like a play set, and unfortunately I don't have it anymore. It got thrown out years ago, but that was my first original layout. It's a shame I don't have it anymore, because that would be neat to be able to have that to this day, but unfortunately I don't. But I do have the track from the set. That's all in the box. I can throw a picture of the box in here, which again is at home. But I'll throw a picture of the box and what all's with it. I do have the power control unit for it somewhere. I just have to find it. It's not in the box, but I do know that I have it. But we're going to continue on here. The next set right now, I'm just working on stuff that I bought from Bernie's Model Railroad Hobby Shop. So stand by for the next set. So I wanted to show you this one. It's got like the couplers, for some reason they got a weird mold to them that they won't work. So I got to change the couplers out on it, or try to cut out the extra plastic mold. But the detail on this thing is pretty cool, and the door slides open on both sides, and it's in really good condition even in the original box. So whoever had this before really didn't run it, obviously because of the couplers, but probably kept it in the box. So it's actually pretty. It's another state commemorative car, Virginia, so that's pretty neat. It's the only one of this style in this manufacturer that I have. I found it again at Bernie's, so I decided to pick it up. Thought it was pretty cool. So alright, so next up we got, coming around now, more from Bernie's Model Railroad. We got the GG1, one of his box cars. Typical Penn Central derailment. So this is actually going a little faster than I hope. Let me adjust the speed on here. All right, I slowed it down, so we'll see as it comes around. So here you got the GG1 and one of Bernie's rail cars, which he does have more in stock. So if you guys want any, either stop by or get a hold of him and he can send you one. So these all pretty much came from his store. You can hear this GG1 makes a little bit of noise on the track. It's pretty much maxed out on these turns, but it makes it. I did find this little Conrail ore car hidden. This Penn Central car came from somewhere else. I'm just using that because I have two different style couplers here. So what I did was I put the it came with Katy couplers on it, so I took one of the Katy couplers off and put one of the old style, I don't know what they're called, couplers on. So this has Katy couplers, this has them, this has one on this side, and then the old style on this side, so that I can switch it up. Oh, it re-railed itself. That's good. So that's the only car in this that I'm just, because I'm using it as a, yep, it just derailed again. I'm using that as the in-between to be able to pull these cars. This one has the, I forget what he called them, smart couplers, I guess, that work with both style. I forget what they're called. But that has it on both ends, so I can actually use that for either style cars. Good old Penn Central derailments. This actually Nick spotted when him and I were over there. I didn't even see it because it was red. I wasn't paying attention to it, so he spotted the logo on it, and as soon as he spotted it, I grabbed it. I was like, oh, now I got a Penn Central Caboose. So thought that was pretty cool. I got into collecting these Penn Central cars, which you'll see in one of these as we move along. I'll show you all the Penn Central stuff I have. But so again, there's another look at that. Should be the rest. I mean, I do have passenger cars yet, so they're coming up next. Alright, coming around now is again the GG1, keeping with the Pennsylvania theme. So I actually picked up this coach car, dining car, and observation car again from Bernie's Model Railroad. So I thought that was a neat thing to go with the GG1, or if I find a Pennsy F unit, I can put those with that. So for now I just run it with whatever. One problem I did actually have, it had the accordion walkways, I guess you would call them, between the cars. As you'll see as they come around, I actually had to rip them off because for the angle of the track for the corners here, it was actually causing them to bind up and derail pop the trucks off the track. So I ended up having to rip them off, and that was the only way I could get them to run smoothly without derailing, which is a bummer. I didn't really want to do that, but I saved them. I have them so I can glue them back on later down the road. You know, if I ever can get around to building my own layout, I'll make sure to give those their own dedicated track where they have enough room to be able to turn and not cause any issues with having those back on. But in the meantime, they look pretty cool being pulled by that GG1. So since we're on the topic of the GG1, I'm going to bring in the next one, which was actually given to me by Nixcrossing. And it runs, it's older, it definitely needs some help, but I did find out I can actually run the two of them together as like a tandem team. So I'm going to bring that in, run it by itself, and then we'll hook them up together and show you that. So here's the GG1 from Nixcrossing, which, like I said, it needs help sometimes. It's an older one from when he was a kid, so I'm not sure, you know, how old it actually is, but this is pretty much how this one runs. The cool thing about these is with the both of them, they're both the same locomotive number. They're both 4828, but in both colors, both Pennsylvania colors. So that was, I thought, was kind of neat. So it can like do the illusion of, oh, it's this color and it's been put through the shop and changed to this color, or, you know, whatever down the road. So, but this one's definitely newer, and it's an IHC brand. And I was reading in the instructions on it that you can actually, it has two motors in it, and whichever direction you run it is, you see the light on this one, and that one, the back one, isn't. So whichever direction it's running, that's what light is on, and that's what motor it's using. So it has two motors in it. Plus this one, I don't know about that one, but this one you can actually hook it to overhead electric, and there's a switch inside that you can flip it so it'll run off of the pantograms, which I think is pretty neat. So I'm sure that one does it too, but I don't know, because that one was made by a different manufacturer. This one was made in that one I think said China or Hong Kong on it. This one was Slovenia is where this one was made. So they're slightly different, but this one's got a little more detail where that one doesn't. So you can zoom in where you can see that it says water and fuel oil on there, and then over here it says water, where that one doesn't have that. So I think that's kind of cool, just having the two different ones. Plus this one has all metal trucks on it, wheels on it. That one's got a mixture of plastic and metal. So that could be part of the issue with its running the way it is. It's not getting good contact on the curves, because it actually will lift up, the smaller wheels will lift up as it comes around the bend on the one side. So I'm going to go ahead and hook them up in tandem and run them and show you that. There you go, they're running in tandem now. So what I do is I put the red one in front so that it kind of helps pull the green one, since it seems like the red one's got more power and works better, rather than trying to have the green one pull the red one. And I do remember growing up as a kid, my dad had one, but he had it, his was set up in the Spirit of 76 paint scheme. I don't know whatever happened to that. I think he got rid of all of his train stuff years ago, but alright, here we have the Dno Steamer that I got from Nixcrossing, and hooked up behind it are 2 passenger cars that I got from Bernie's Model Railroad, which conveniently I picked those up before, because I already knew that I was getting the steamer and I was looking for passenger cars anyway. So as I was going through his used selection, I came across these 2 and I ended up getting them. Now they do have the original Athearn boxes, but it was just these 2, so I don't know if there's more in the set or what. I'm gonna have to do some research on that to see if they do have any more. But again, this is an IHC brand locomotive from 2002, I believe. It was stamped inside the box. We don't know if it smokes. I just actually tried putting a couple drops of smoke fluid in it to see if I get anything. So far, nothing. So that may have been, just did like 3 drops just to see if it would do it, but because it seemed like when we ran it a couple times before, it looked like smoke was coming out of it, but I think it was just seeing things, because right now it's not doing anything. So it would have probably started by now if it did it. So I'm assuming it doesn't. But there again, another cool setup. And a big thanks to Nick from Nixcrossing, and also Bernie's Model Railroad for bringing me some fun and joy. So I wanted to show you guys this. I thought this was pretty cool because I actually picked this up from Bernie's Model Railroad shop too, which of course, the Baby Ruth part, I ended up giving it to Jay because of how we're always doing the Sloth from Goonies Baby Ruth stuff, so thought it was like fitting to give it to him. But as you can hear, it makes noise, and the idea behind it, you can see there's a big wheel in the middle there. As it rolls around, it gives it that sound of the locomotive chugging along. So it would be like supposed to be a steam train sound, steam locomotive sound. So I'm gonna set you guys here. Actually, maybe I'll set you here, put you on wide angle, and go give you, speed it up so you can hear it in the different tone and the different speeds. So as I'm setting up the next train, we got a little distraction here. Salem decided to come visit. Oh, typical Penn Central style. Derailment right in front of your eyes. Alright, so now I got this Penn Central SD35, which was originally a Pennsylvania unit that I bought used from Lanes and Trains in Easton. I saw it in a display case and it was 30 or 35 bucks. I'm not sure. It was cheap, but you can see that it's been painted and has Penn Central decals on it, because if you look close around the windows, I don't know if it'll zoom in, but you can see the original green paint. And I looked it up online because I do have the box. It had the box, so I looked it up online and it was originally a Pennsylvania SD35 with a different locomotive number. This Pennsylvania cattle car came from, I can't think of the name of it, the hobby shop next to, or down the road in Strasburg, next to the Choo Choo Barn. That's where I got that. This Penn Central car, I think, came from there too. I got a bunch of these Penn Central cars from there. This one, I believe, came from Bernie's Model Railroad. This one here came from Strasburg, as well as that one. And I don't remember where I got this Pensy car. That may have come from there too. So it's getting to the point where some of them I'm forgetting where they're coming from. So let's, you see I actually have it so long that it's running all the way around. But I also have this Erie Lackawanna switcher unit, which is a dummy unit. That came from Trains and Lanes as well, which ironically I had gotten one from Bernie's Model Railroad, which I gave to Jay as a display on the layout, which I did get it to run. He couldn't get it to run, but it does run in one direction. So I do have video footage, I'll throw it in here too, of that running with this one as like a double switcher unit. Alright, so this boxcar I got from Strasburg as well, and I thought it was pretty cool because it was a Christmas car from 1979, which, again, I was born in 78, but I was born just before Christmas of 78, so this will be a year later, but still thought it was pretty cool. This one's a Tyco car. I'm not sure where this came from. Somebody had given me a box of Tyco stuff years ago, and I don't remember who it was or where it came from, but that was in there, as well as this Shell tank car, which is the only tank car I have. And then this, what is it? That's a Wabash unit, or car. That I got from, that came from Trains and Lanes as well. This car came from Jay. He had gotten it from somebody and then passed it on to me. So we actually, that's one of the cars that we use for setting cameras up in, for getting you footage from the layout. And I gotta bring this around, so stand by. And this Santa Fe car I've had, I don't remember where it came from either, but I've had it for a long time. This one was part of that Tyco set, so again, I don't remember who I got that from, as well as this one. And then again, this one was from the Retromantic. This Hershey car came from Bernie's Model Railroad. And then again, we got another, the Star-Kissed from Retromantic. And then again, this 1978 car that came from the Retromantic. And then this is one of two of these flat cars that I have that Jay gave me. And this is another one that we use for setting the camera on for your shots from the layout, so I could like set that on there and have it getting the front of the locomotive. kind of part of the reason why I set this up so long, so I can show you that. So there gets your view of the locomotive. So I did have a GoPro Hero that fit better on here. It was smaller, so it would actually sit on there better. But when I was down visiting with the Retromantic, I actually gave it to her so that she could use it for underwater footage and stuff with her American Flyer layout. So hope to see her use that and put it to good use and come up with some cool footage with that. So, and you guys as well, when you go, if you go to check out her channel, to watch for that kind of footage from her. So alright, well that's going to wrap it up for this video. As you can see, I got the Dno running again. If you can see it from there. If not, it's the Dno. But anyway, throw in some more clips of some random footage of trains running after this outro. And first off, I wanted to thank Jay of JPVideos for allowing me to use the layout to do this video, and also the continued friendship and support that he gives me. And we definitely had, as you guys know, we have a lot of fun together. So we do have some plans. He has some plans of doing some more additions to this, so look for those videos probably on his channel as well as mine. More on his than mine, but look for those additions in the near future. And also wanted to thank Bernie's Model Railroad for, one, the help that he gives whenever I bring something over and say, hey, can you fix this? You know, he hooks me up. And then also, every time I go over there, I end up, you know, dropping money. So, so supporting him, supporting local business. You know, he's fairly new with the business, so I'd like to see him succeed and grow, definitely. Like I said, I'm hopefully planning on going there tonight to do a live stream, which you'll see before this video anyway. But if not, I'm going to do a recorded video for him just to help him out. And also to Nick of Nixcrossing for the Dno locomotive, as well as the GG1, and to the Retromantic for the rolling stock that I got from her. That was pretty awesome and generous of her to do that as well. Like I said, she will be probably putting a video up of me going through the box with her eventually in the future. I'm not sure when, but she said that it's probably going to be a little bit until she can get around to that. She's got quite a backlog of back footage, quite a backlog of videos that she's got to go through and edit. So that may be a little bit, but doesn't mean you can't go and check her out anyway, and just subscribe to her channel and watch for that video to come out. Oh, well, of course, Jay, you know, the stuff that I got from him as well, so, you know, can't forget that. But yeah, well, anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed the look of my collection. It's grown quite a bit since my first train set and my Conrail and all that, so just in the last couple weeks it's actually grown pretty good. Like I said, if you saw the video of me converting this case into the train case, I'm pretty much already outgrown it. So I have more. When I made this, I had less. Now I have more than what will fit in here. So now I got to come up with something else for the rest of it, unless I just put them in a box and keep them in their boxes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'll come up with a plan for that, and if I do, I'll bring it to you guys and show it to you what I did. So hope there's a layout in my future, so maybe we'll see what we can do with that, and that way I'll be able to run my stuff on my own layout. But again, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one. And also, don't forget to check the links of everybody that I mentioned down below in the description. Check out their channels as well, and we'll see you in the next one. Alright, I forgot about this one. I actually wanted to add this into that consist there, but I forgot to do it. This one has Katy couplers too, and this one also came from Bernie's Model Railroad. So I wanted to quick throw that in there since I forgot it. Moving on to the next set.